Good morning. Welcome to your Tip on Tuesday. This is the Crafty Canary, and today I want to show you how I make my coffee creamer. Now, years ago I found a recipe for a natural coffee creamer because I became a little concerned with always having the fake creamers and who knows what else in my coffee every morning. So I wanted something a little natural, and the recipe calls for 1 cup whole milk and 1 cup cream. So basically you're making your own half and half with different flavors. And I like peppermint mocha, so that's the one that I choose to make. But my recipe that I found has quite a few different flavors, so I'll link that recipe in the comments. But I've recently begun to change it because I've stopped doing as much dairy. I still use some dairy in my diet, but try to limit it a little bit because I'm a singer and it can add a little bit of congestion, so that's my reason. So if you don't mind dairy, you can use milk and cream in yours, but I use coconut milk and almond milk. So what I do is I buy a can of light coconut milk to cut down a little bit on the fat because coconut milk can be fattening, and then I pour it into a 2-cup measure. Those cans are 13.66 ounces of coconut milk, so it comes to about 1.75 cups, and then I take the almond milk and add it to the measuring cup until it measures 2 cups. So there's my 1 cup of cream, 1 cup of milk. That's my equivalent to it. And I pour it in. And then for our peppermint mocha, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of cocoa. I really love chocolate, so I usually mound my tablespoons. Did I say teaspoons? I meant tablespoons if I did. And then we're gonna do 4 tablespoons of maple syrup. So not pancake syrup, but pure maple syrup. And this again will help cut down on processed sugars. I feel a little healthier. I don't know if it's really the case, but I feel healthier using maple syrup than white refined sugar. So I put that in. I'm going to turn my stove on to low, and then I'm going to just stir until this gets really incorporated with a little mini whisk that I have. So now when you use regular milk and cream, I noticed that especially after you're done and you put it in the refrigerator, this oftentimes separates pretty badly. But what I've noticed after I started using coconut milk was that it doesn't separate as bad. I do not know why. I don't know the science behind it, but for some reason with the coconut milk and almond milk, the cocoa, the chocolate, does not separate from the milk quite as badly. So I'm going to just stir this a little bit more until it gets well incorporated and wait for it. I don't have to constantly stir, but I want to watch it and keep the heat really low and wait for it to steam. So we're going to do that, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, we're back. It's been just about 10 minutes, and the cocoa is all incorporated, and it's beginning to steam a little bit. I don't know if you can tell on the camera or not, but it's beginning to just steam a little bit. No boiling, no simmering. You want to get it off the heat when it just begins to steam. So I'm going to turn off the heat and come over here. And make sure you get off the heat to do this because peppermint extract has a lot of alcohol in it, so you don't want to start a fire. But you're going to use 1 teaspoon of peppermint extract. And be sure that it's peppermint extract, not mint extract. I made that mistake the first time I ever got any, and it tastes very different. It's not like peppermint mocha at all. It was not good. It was bitter. And also you can use food grade oils. You can use the essential oils that are made specifically to put in food, but again, be careful and don't use too much because it can taste very different and way too minty. So be very careful with that and just know how much you're supposed to put for a teaspoon of peppermint extract. So now we're going to leave this for a few minutes to cool before we put it into our container. So we'll see you back in a bit. Okay, now we're going to pour it into our plastic container. I found these at, I think, the grocery store years ago, and I'm going to use a small sieve that will just catch any of the pieces of cocoa that didn't get incorporated in there, just so that we don't have lumps and we don't have anything yucky in there. Pour that in, let it drain just a bit, then I'll put my lid on and put it in the fridge. And now in the morning I have peppermint mocha creamer for my coffee. Well, it's the next morning and I've got my coffee ready and my creamer. As you can see, it's not really separating, but if you did use the milk and cream, it would separate. I still shake it up just a bit and then pour in, probably more than a lot of people would use, but I like the chocolate. Pour it in and stir and my coffee's ready. Now, if you do have a sweet tooth, you will want to maybe add some sugar or maybe even add more than 4 tablespoons of the maple syrup as you make it, because it is an acquired taste. It's not super sweet, but I'm glad that I have kind of weaned myself off of the sugar and the corn syrup and all the additives to have a little bit more of a healthy coffee in the morning, because I can't drink it straight black coffee, but this really helps. So I hope you have a great week and I will see you next week. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't, and tell all your friends about the Crafty Canary. Thanks, bye-bye.